Jeremiah was a bullfrog. That's my little tribute to Chuck Negron from Three Dog Night. Probably one of the most famous opening lines in any song. And yeah, very sad to hear of the passing of Chuck. I've followed him on Facebook for quite a few years. I've always loved Three Dog Night and, have talked about them in the past and, about them not being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which I think there's now, well, I'll show you in a minute. But first of all, he wrote this book a few years back called Three Dog Nightmare because, he was living the rock and roll lifestyle in the 70s and definitely got out of hand, but he did clean up many years ago, and just to show you how, Three Dog Night is one of those bands that really annoys me that they aren't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Probably never will be the way it's going. But Three Dog Night were one of the most successful U.S. singles bands of the late 60s, early 70s. And they had 21 top 40 singles, 11 top 10 singles, and 3 Billboard #1 hits. More top 10 singles than any other band from 1969 to 1974. And some of their hits were One, Easy to Be Hard, Eli's Coming, Celebrate, An Old-Fashioned Love Song, Never Been to Spain, The Show Must Go On, Shambhala, and Liar, and a few others. And so all that's remaining from the original lineup is, of course, Danny Hutton, and Michael Alsop. Alsop, is it? And yeah, Corey, Chuck, Jimmy, Floyd, and Joe have all passed on. And this was posted on Three Dog Night's official Facebook. And this is from Danny Hutton, one of the 3 singers for Three Dog Night. I received the news today that my former bandmate from Three Dog Night passed away peacefully at his home. When Chuck left the band 40 years ago, I thought he was fired, but won't get into that now. We rarely spoke and lost touch for much of that time. 5 months ago, his wife called to tell me he was very sick, and I decided to see him. When I arrived at his house, we hugged, cried, reminisced, and shared many stories. In that moment, we realized how much time had been lost by not being in each other's lives. It was a beautiful and deeply meaningful reunion. Besides being a phenomenal singer, Chuck was a good college basketball player and had a great sense of humor. I will always be grateful for the music we made together. So yeah, I guess that's about it. It's just, I feel, a band like Three Dog Night, I think they're underrated. They're not respected like they should be because they were a real band. They had a band. They weren't, studio musicians and, 3 lead singers. They were a total band. And, even though they didn't write most of their songs, they made hits out of all of these cover songs that they did because of the great vocals and having a great band. And so that's about it. Rest in peace, Chuck. Thank you. Bye.